The two films, The Trap and The Sea Inside. Um, Even though these two films are very different in style, one is more of a documentary style, whereas the other one is more of a drama. Though they both explore powerful ideas about freedom, choice, and control. So I want to talk about the plots first. With The Trap, it doesn't follow just a main character. Instead, it builds a argument about how modern day governments and economical systems define human beings as rational and self-interested individuals. Um, I know that it suggests more of a system that's designed around this idea, um, but it ends up just controlling people rather than having that freedom for them. For the other movie, which is The Sea, it tells a very personal story based on a person named Ramon San Pedro. And this man is but anyways, he becomes that after an accident, and he spends a lot of years fighting for the legal right to end his own life. So to compare, The Trap is more broad system focused, where The Sea inside is more intimate and it focuses on another person's struggle. When I compare the characters, The Sea inside gives us more of an emotional and complex type of individuals in that movie. Ramon is very intelligent, but he's physically trapped in his body. Like the people around him, his lawyer and his friends, they represent different moral beliefs about the life and death situation. Um, but The Trap doesn't really focus on that. It focuses more on individual characters. Sorry, not individual. Focuses more on the system, the systematic things that happens in that movie. So it just shows more of a politicians, economists, scientists, but as like larger systems and ideas. Um, I noticed that a similarity between these two films is the themes of freedom and choice. So for The Trap, the freedom is often something that's controlled by the system, claiming to give people choices and stuff, but it actually is used to manipulate and shape their decisions, the rules and stuff like that. Where The Sea Inside is more personal, because Ramon argues that freedom should include the right to choose the death when life becomes kind of unbearable. So that kind of asks this question: how free are we really if our choices are very limited by the outside um, society? I think that the role of state is very important in both of these films, because the state becomes more of a manager of society, and The Trap, with using systems, controls, and then behaviorals and risks that come with that. And for The Sea Inside, the state appears to show the legal system, but that also refuses Ramon's request in the assisted suicide in order to protect life. Um, because of this, it creates a lot of tension between the law and personal autonomy. I noticed also that disability and suffering is really shown in The Sea Inside. The Sea Inside, it's about someone that's living with a severe disability. That kind of raises questions about dignity and independence, and also overall quality of life. Um, Whereas The Trap uses more disability as like humans are trapped in systems that are limiting the freedoms. So I kind of noticed that visually these films are very different, um, because The Trap uses more archive kind of footage, interviews, and then these fast editing in the films. But then The Sea Inside uses a lot more soft lighting, close up shots, and then a lot more quiet movements to focus on emotion and personal experience with that main character. In terms of impact, I noticed that both of the films challenged the viewer in different ways. It challenged me when it made me think that, oh, how did governments and systems shape behaviors without telling us, and we're not able to realize it sooner? And then the see inside kind of makes you think about the ethical questions that surround life, death, and personal choice. So overall, these two films are very different, but they both explore a central idea, which is freedom, and that freedom is very complicated. um, it's often like perceived in different ways, as often controlled by political systems and also physical limitations. Human choice is always going to be shaped by forces beyond our own control. So overall, watching these films helped me better understand how society is defined, and like what is limiting freedom and what it means to really be free.